quiz classes, and then we could get like 10 cents off of it if we get enough views.
I'm assuming you can go over the
quiz.
The ERDPML?
But a lot of these questions will make noise.
Yes, they really will, and you go, oh. Well, let's go over these answers, and then we just whip them out.
All right.
The ERDPMLs, and we'll play with them, and they'll make more sense. All right. So, are we ready or not ready?
Ready.
Yeah, ready? Okay, I don't want to rush anybody. Dude's gone with dude. Hunter took dude. Oh, whatever. Number 1 is A. Number 2 is D. Number 3 is true. Number 4 is A. Number 5 is D. 6 is C. 7 C. 8 B. 9 D. 10 A. 100%, right?
I got 7 wrong. What was the question?
Good.
Oh, I thought you meant you got 7 out of 10.
I know, like you got 7 wrong.
Number
What?
7 wrong.
Don't freak me out like that. I'm like, I haven't done a really bad
I'm not allowed
job.
to move my arms.
Maybe not. It could be, but not really bad. Number 7, to reduce the risk of decompression sickness, should I have my cylinder filled? Now remember, decompression sickness is the bubbles in your bloodstream.
Oh, see, I didn't know.
I was just playing it safe. I marked all of them.
See, all of them sound right.
I'm like, all those things
So
sound.
C says
like
make
they're
a safety
safe.
stop at the end of every dive.
See, because we went over like the trusted air company.
I know, we went over contaminated air and all that nonsense, and you went, oh, yeah. So to reduce your risk of decompression sickness, nitrogen in your bloodstream, do a safety stop at the end of every dive.
And it wouldn't be B because theoretically, if you were dizzy, you should just get out.
So when you're dizzy, yeah, we're talking vertigo, and that's when your inner ear goes kind of wonky, and it's your inner gyroscope gets a little whacked out, and so you get the spins. So no, if you're dizzy like that, nope, it's vertigo on your ascent. Having your cylinder filled at a trusted dive shop doesn't matter because it has nothing to do with what you're breathing. It's what's already in your body. And then D, breathe more slowly than normal. Not so much. Again, it's the nitrogen inside your body that is the culprit for DCS. What other ones do we need to go over?
10.
10.
Yeah.
The first step in setting up and using my dive computer might be reading the instruction manual.
Yeah, I said testing it in confined water because that.
Yeah, but
I was about to
the
pick
first step.
Read the instructions.
Read the instructions. All right, I'm going to give you the answers. Okay, you ready?
First.
Do you want them? Number 1 is A. Number 2 is D. 3 is true. 4 is A. 5 is D. 6 is C. 7 C. 8 B as in boy. 9 D as in dog. 10 A.
B as in bog.
Okay.
I'm dog. Part dog. I'm the best friend.
No bog is in.
All right. So are there any that you want me to go over?
D as in joy.
Space.
Because I'm sure everybody would
S as in
benefit.
shut up on him.
So which ones do we want to go over? 10? All right. So the first step in setting up your dive computer is to read the manual. When you get a brand new computer, you don't know what to do with it. There's all kinds of buttons and doodads and a lot of different screens. There's alarms that you can turn on and off, all kinds of things. And you actually need to read the instruction manual to know how to do that.
You press all the buttons.
Did you choose D?
Then you look.
He can't even turn it on yet because he doesn't know that there's a piece of paper between the battery and the contacts. So everybody make sure you sign and date the bottom of that one. Okay?
Maybe could you really quick just the signs and symptoms of like the 2 illnesses, the decompression, and compare that to like bad air?
All right. So bad air. Carbon monoxide poisoning is really what it is. So you're going to get dizzy and you're going to get sleepy, and it has those type of things associated with it. Okay, your nail beds
probably happened very
will get
rapidly.
Blue.
no, happens kind of slowly, I think.
What does?
It comes on, it's not something that comes on,
It's like
and that you notice.
Slow. It slowly
it
comes on and
happens
you forget.
slowly and you just get sleepy. Just like if you were in your car and you turned on the motor and you shut your garage door, carbon monoxide poisoning. Or people that have problems with their heater in their house, carbon monoxide, they go to sleep and they just don't wake up. Same thing.
So it's like it's weakness,
and weakness,
like being lethargic, right? And then like
Rapid, it's like rapid
dizzy and then
decompression.
sleepy and then
sleepy and
Is it,
then What?
is it like the same thing as rapid decompression? So like you nailed that.
Carbon monoxide poisoning?
Yeah.
No.
No.
and then
No.
do they turn more red, or are they
What?
something about
Your lips are cherry red,
Yeah.
and so are your nail beds.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
that's on carbon monoxide, right?
That's carbon
Yeah.
monoxide poisoning. Now, DCS. DCS you usually will feel immediately, is what I understand, when you get out of the water. It's bubbles, literally, in your bloodstream or in a joint. And it's painful from what I understand. It's going to cause weakness and prolonged fatigue if it's within a vein or something like that. All right? More often than not, though, it's actually in a joint, and it's going to cause joint pain. And from what I understand, it's pretty hefty, and you know it. Did I tell you guys about the guy in Belize on the boat?
With the
Yeah.
brain thing.
Now that took a little while longer for that DCS for him to notice it. That was DCS, and it took about probably 20 minutes to a half an hour.
And it says pain, tingling, and numbness, and those
So
are all.
the tingling is going to be that bubble against a nerve.
Okay.
And it's going to cause tingling of that nerve. So there's a really big difference. And I'm not telling you this story to scare you. I'm telling you this story because you can look it up if you want to Google it. But in Roatan, Honduras, a resort that we went there, they had a problem with their compressor and they had a carbon monoxide issue. And they lost a diver and a dive master. They were about 60 feet on a dive and they fell asleep. And nobody saw them until they had drowned. So they were at the back of the group. They just fell asleep.
And then, could you mention the two other ones on this, number 5, symptoms of oxygen toxicity?
Oxygen toxicity.
Oh.
Ah.
And dehydration, just so they can get, because all those questions could pop up.
Thanks, Mark.
Well, you're an awesome
Just
guy to be able to explain that, though. Okay, so oxygen toxicity. In your chapter, did you read about something maybe it might have been referred to as vented?
Sure.
So you're going to have visual changes. Your ears might be ringing. You might be nauseous. Yeah.
One moment.
One moment, please. So it'll be in your chapter. It'll talk about the different symptoms of oxygen toxicity. Okay? It also can cause convulsions if you get too much oxygen. Okay?
And this is
So
different
you have
than
to-
just like getting because you got your tank filled in the wrong place.
Right, this is different. This is like if you were to breathe nitrox.
Ooh.
All right? Oxygen enriched air. So what we're breathing right now is 21% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, 79% nitrogen, and inert gases, all right? So as we go down to 33 feet, that because of pressure and density, it's as if we're breathing 42%. When we go down to 66 feet, it's 63, and so on. All right, so when we breathe nitrox, they bump up the oxygen content to 32% or 36%. So that then
So you're
dilutes
only
down the
getting this
nitrogen.
when you're using the nitrox.
Right.
Okay.
But depending on how deep you go. So remember 21, 42, 63, 84, okay? 32, 64, 96, 128. So by the time you're at 4 atmospheres, you're at 128%. So then you go to 130 feet, you're at 160% O2, which is a partial pressure of oxygen of 1.6. And that is really the threshold. You need to be very careful. Patty says don't go past 1.4 partial pressure of oxygen, whereas SDI, TDI, more technical divers say 1.6 is okay. So you got a range. So when you get to that 1.4 though, yeah, you're risking oxygen toxicity. It affects your central nervous system and you have issues.
But the advantage of it is it's easier to go down that far.
No, you can stay longer.
Stay longer.
So let's say, and we'll go over this next week when I have my big dive table. 60 feet, your NDL or no decompression limit for 60 feet is 55 minutes. When you are on 32% nitrox, it's like 95 minutes because you're not taking on the nitrogen so you can stay longer. You can't go as deep on nitrox because of oxygen toxicity. So really at 32%, you need to only go to 110 feet, not down to 130
still go
feet.
really deep.
110 feet.
110.
Yeah.
Yeah, 110 feet's plenty deep, right?
Yeah, okay.
But you need to be aware
makes
of
sense.
how deep you are. You need to be more cautious about depth.
So
You
it
can't
prevents
just
the
go-
DCS from the nitrogen,
Right.
you know, which allows you to stay longer. That makes
You
sense.
can stay longer and you don't have the amount of nitrogen. You're not taking on the amount of nitrogen. But you need to be careful about the oxygen onload because it will affect your central nervous system. Your vision will be blurred. You'll get dizzy. You'll have all kinds of issues, central nervous issues. What was the other one? I'm
Oh.
sorry.
No, I was just reading off that the other one was dehydration, which
Dehydration, you really put yourself at risk for DCS or guinea bend because, again, your body's not working at peak effectiveness to off-gas that nitrogen. Your blood pressure goes up because your blood's a little thicker because you're dehydrated. You need to stay hydrated. Also, you guys noticed when you were in the pool, now I can talk more about this and you'll go, oh, I get it. Did you notice how dry your mouth was by the time you got out of the pool?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was
You're
so thirsty.
breathing in really dry air. And then you're exhaling really moist air. All that moisture inside your lungs. So then your body replenishes that moisture from body, fluids in your body. And then you breathe in more dry air and breathe out moisture. So you're dehydrating yourself from the inside out. So if you drank a liter of Mountain Dew before you ever got there, and you were a tad bit dehydrated to start with, then you're compounding the issue. So then he would have been really hyped up, really cramped up maybe too. Dehydration will also cause you to get cramps in your calves. How many of you guys got cramps in your calves?
I got
No,
it in
I
my
got
quad,
Charlie horses and
my
I can't.
left
I was
one.
like,
Yeah,
Actually,
In the
it was
pool?
okay on the cramps.
cramps in your calves.
I'm okay on the cramps. Just
It's like,
hungry.
ow.
Yeah, it hurts so bad.
So then, okay, so what I was trying to explain in the pool, make a figure 4 with your legs. So take your left and put it here. So then I'm in number 4, right? I can grab my fin tip and stretch my fin out in front of me and gently pull back on it to stretch that hamstring down the back of my leg. Okay? Drink plenty of water. Please, please, please. Now, if you guys have your ERD PMLs, there's a little hatch on the back side of it. There's a little battery hatch. You need to take a coin and actually open up the little battery hatch because there's a little piece of yellow paper between the battery and the contacts to save the battery life.